Have you ever felt powerless, stuck, or overlooked? Ever wondered how some people always seem to get what they want, rising smoothly to the top, winning favor, and avoiding drama while others stay invisible or fall behind? What if I told you power isn't a mystery or just luck? It's a set of skills, tactics, and wisdom rules of a game we all play every day. And once you understand the game, you can change your life. Welcome to the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, one of the most influential and provocative books on power, strategy, and influence ever written. In this video, we'll walk through the core lessons from the book, the laws that have shaped leaders, con artists, warriors, and thinkers throughout history. You don't want to miss this. Some laws might surprise or even challenge you, but that's where true growth happens. If you stop now, you'll miss the most powerful insights on how to navigate power dynamics with confidence and awareness. So get comfortable and let's dive into the timeless laws that will change the way you see power and yourself. Have you ever done something incredible, a presentation, a project, a pitch, where you thought, this is going to impress everyone, only to feel the energy shift? Maybe your boss didn't smile, maybe your mentor didn't clap, or maybe the room went cold. Confusing, right? This is where Robert Greene's first law of power hits hard: never outshine the master. This means no matter how skilled or talented you are, it's wise not to overshadow those above you. When you outshine the master, you risk stirring envy and insecurity, which can make you a target. Instead, make your superiors feel superior. Let them bask in the spotlight, while you work diligently behind the scenes. Imagine you have a boss at work. If you do everything perfectly and make your boss look bad or less important, your boss might feel jealous or threatened. So, instead of showing off too much, you do your job well but always make your boss look good and smart. That way, your boss feels happy and safe, and you won't get into trouble. This strategy builds trust and secures your position. Ask yourself, are you unintentionally overshadowing your leaders or mentors? Or are you wisely letting them shine while you grow your own power patiently? Don't skip this part. This insight is crucial for anyone navigating workplaces, relationships, or social hierarchies. Mastering this law can protect your progress and open doors to greater influence. Law 2 says, never put too much trust in friends, learn how to use enemies. Friends can betray because they feel entitled. Enemies, however, have something to prove. History shows us that sometimes former rivals become your strongest allies because they want to earn your trust. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who appointed former political enemies to his cabinet, turning opposition into strength. The lesson? Be cautious with friends, and don't underestimate the value of a converted enemy. Moving to Law 3, conceal your intentions. If people know exactly what you plan, they can sabotage you or block your progress. Greene advises to keep your strategies hidden, revealing your goals only when the time is right. Think of how a master poker player keeps their cards close, bluffing just enough to keep opponents guessing. In life and business, subtlety wins. Law 4 teaches, always say less than necessary. Words are powerful, but over-explaining or talking too much can reveal weaknesses or give others ammunition. The quieter you are, the more mysterious and powerful you become. Winston Churchill was known for his concise and impactful speeches that moved nations without wasting a word. Law 5. So much depends on reputation, guard it with your life. Your reputation is your social currency. Once damaged, it's hard to repair. Think of celebrities or CEOs whose careers collapsed overnight because of a scandal. Greene wants to protect your image fiercely. Let it precede you like a shield. Finally, Law 6. Quote attention at all costs. In a noisy world, invisibility is a death sentence. You must stand out, be bold, and capture attention. Andy Warhol famously said, in the future, everyone will be world famous for 15 minutes. The key is making sure your spotlight shines bright when it counts. But beware, too much attention for the wrong reasons can backfire. It's an art to attract the right kind of attention. Now here's something to ponder. In your own life, who do you trust too much, and who might be a surprising ally? Are you guarding your reputation as fiercely as you should? And how can you command attention without losing control? If you've made it this far, you're building the foundation of real power, understanding that influence isn't just about what you do, but how you're seen. Law 7 tells us, get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. It's not about cheating, but leveraging the skills, knowledge, and efforts of others to achieve your goals faster and more effectively. Take Thomas Edison. While he invented many things, he also relied heavily on a team of brilliant assistants to bring his ideas to life. Just remember to ensure you're the face of success, so your reputation grows. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you force others to chase you, you gain control. Think of a skilled negotiator who lets the other party come with offers, instead of revealing their own position first. This law is about making yourself the prize, something others want and must approach on your terms. Law 9, you might recall, Win through your actions, never through argument. We discussed how actions speak louder than words and why winning people over by demonstrating your value is far more effective than debating endlessly. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Emotions and attitudes are contagious. Surrounding yourself with negative, unlucky people can drag you down. Successful people are mindful of their company. Think of how Oprah Winfrey carefully curates her circle to maintain a positive, motivated environment. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. Dependence equals power. If others rely on you for something vital, skills, resources, or knowledge, they're less likely to challenge or abandon you. Steve Jobs built Apple, not just on innovation, but by creating an ecosystem people needed. But beware. Dependence should be mutual and ethical to avoid resentment. So take a moment and reflect. Who do you delegate work to, and how do you ensure you get credit without stepping on toes? Are you creating healthy dependencies, or are you building relationships on shaky ground? If you're with me this far, you're starting to see how power is a subtle dance of psychology, strategy, and social dynamics. Keep watching, you're learning the tools that can transform your life. Have you ever noticed how sometimes a simple act of honesty can disarm even the toughest critics? Or wondered how staying calm in heated moments can make you seem invincible? Law 12 says, use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Honesty is a double-edged sword. While being truthful builds trust, revealing too much or being too generous can be dangerous. Greene teaches that strategic honesty, sharing just enough truth or a calculated favor, can lower others' defenses. Think about politicians who admit a minor fault to build credibility, making their bigger goals easier to achieve. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. People are driven mostly by what benefits them. If you want someone's support, frame your request around their gain, not your needs. Imagine a business leader pitching a partnership by highlighting mutual profits rather than just asking for a favor. It's about aligning goals. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Information is power. Learning your rival's secrets or intentions can give you a huge advantage. But doing so openly is risky, hence the advice to build trust while quietly observing. In history, spies often gained access by first becoming trusted confidants. But use this carefully. Betrayal can destroy your reputation. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. Leaving a defeated opponent wounded but alive is dangerous. They may come back stronger seeking revenge. Greene cites historical figures like Julius Caesar, who eradicated threats completely to secure lasting power. This law is harsh, but underscores the importance of decisive action. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Paradoxically, sometimes less is more. Being constantly present can dull your value. Withdrawing occasionally makes others appreciate you more. Think of how celebrities disappear from the spotlight for a while, making their return more impactful. Now pause for thought. When was the last time you used honesty strategically? Are you asking for help in a way that motivates others, or relying on goodwill? And how well do you manage your presence to maintain respect? If you're still tuned in, you're mastering the subtle psychological games that make power sustainable and profound. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Predictability makes you vulnerable. When people can't guess your next move, they hesitate and lose confidence. Think of the legendary Bruce Lee. His fighting style was unpredictable, keeping opponents off balance. In life, surprise and flexibility can create psychological advantage. But beware, too much unpredictability can backfire, so balance is key. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. It's tempting to retreat and shield yourself, but isolation cuts you off from information and allies. Powerful people stay connected. Think of successful leaders who maintain networks, even with rivals. Isolation breeds weakness and vulnerability. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Not all opponents are equal. Some fight dirty, some have power behind the scenes. Understanding people's character and influence helps you avoid costly mistakes. For example, offending a quiet but powerful influencer can ruin your reputation silently but permanently. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. Staying independent gives you freedom to maneuver. Committing too early or too strongly ties you down and makes you predictable. Political figures often keep options open until the last moment to secure the best alliances. Flexibility in loyalty is a form of power. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Appearing less intelligent than your lowers others' defenses. They underestimate you and reveal more than they should. It's like a chess player sacrificing a pawn to trap the opponent. Feigning ignorance can be a powerful tactical move. Think about this. Are you too predictable in your daily interactions? Do you know who you should avoid offending? And how often do you keep your cards close, appearing less clever than you truly are? If you're still with me, you're starting to think like a strategist, ready to play the long game with skill and subtlety. Stick around, the best is yet to come. Have you ever noticed how timing can make or break your success? Or how a well-placed smile or compliment can open doors that seemed locked tight? Let's dive into Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Sometimes, surrendering strategically isn't defeat, it's a way to gain leverage. By yielding temporarily, you disarm your opponent and create an opportunity to strike back stronger. Think of how Abraham Lincoln often absorbed criticism and setbacks, only to return with greater force. This is about patience and resilience. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Don't spread yourself too thin. Focus your resources and energy on your strongest points for maximum impact. Napoleon famously said, "Concentrate your forces to strike at the weakest point of the enemy." This law reminds us that targeted effort beats scattered energy. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Charm, diplomacy, and subtlety win hearts and minds. The courtier's role was to navigate politics with grace, flattery, and tact. Modern leaders who master social skills gain powerful allies and diffuse conflicts before they start. Think about how influential figures like Michelle Obama balance strength and warmth effortlessly. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Your personal brand is your power. Reinventing yourself lets you escape old patterns and surprise others. David Bowie constantly transformed his image and sound, keeping fans captivated for decades. Change can be scary, but it's essential for growth and influence. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. Avoid being the one who gets your hands dirty with unpleasant tasks. Delegate or disguise your involvement so your reputation stays untarnished. Leaders who stay above the fray maintain respect and authority. For example, some CEOs rarely get involved in controversies directly, but guide from behind the scenes. Ask yourself, are you focusing your efforts where they matter most? How well do you balance patience with action? And when was the last time you consciously reshaped your image? If you've made it this far, you're absorbing not just strategies, but a mindset, a way to navigate life with power and grace. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Humans crave belief and belonging. Leaders who tap into this can create passionate followers. Look at Steve Jobs, who inspired almost a cult-like devotion through his vision. By crafting compelling narratives and symbols, you can magnetize people to your cause. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. Bold moves command attention and respect. Hesitation breeds doubt. Think of Elon Musk launching ambitious projects like SpaceX or Tesla with confidence. Boldness can intimidate opponents and energize allies. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. A successful journey requires foresight. Planning ahead helps you anticipate challenges and control outcomes. Napoleon's meticulous campaigns show the power of thinking several steps ahead. Without a clear endgame, even the best moves can falter. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. When you make difficult achievements look easy, you appear naturally gifted and powerful. Michael Jordan's graceful basketball moves seemed effortless, elevating his legend. Concealing hard work creates an aura of mastery. Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. Give people choices, but make sure every option benefits you. This subtle manipulation guides decisions without overt pressure. Negotiators often use this by framing offers to seem like win-win situations, while ensuring their own victory. Think about it. How often do you let your boldness shine? Do you carefully plan your moves to the finish line? And when was the last time you made a complex task look simple? If you're still with me, you're learning to wield power with both precision and flair, qualities that set leaders apart. Have you ever noticed how mystery can make someone instantly more captivating? Or how controlling your emotions can turn even tense situations in your favor? Next, the laws highlight how timing, mystery, and emotional mastery can be your secret weapons. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. Reality can be harsh, and people often prefer comforting illusions. Leaders who tap into these fantasies gain deep loyalty. Think of how Walt Disney created entire worlds that let people escape and dream. When you offer hope or a vision, you become irresistible. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness or vulnerability. Identifying these thumbscrews gives you leverage. It might be a desire, fear, or secret. But remember, this knowledge is powerful and should be used wisely. Knowing what motivates or worries others allows you to influence effectively. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. Confidence and self-respect. Command respect from others. Think of how Oprah Winfrey carries herself with grace and authority. When you present yourself with dignity and poise, people treat you accordingly. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Timing is everything in power. Knowing when to act and when to wait can turn the tide in your favor. Like a great chess player, you observe and wait for the perfect moment to strike. Patience combined with decisive action is a potent combination. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Obsessing over what you can't control only drains your energy. Instead, by acting indifferent to what's unattainable, you deny your rivals the satisfaction of seeing you upset. It's a quiet power that frustrates opponents. Ask yourself, how often do you let mystery or fantasy enhance your presence? Are you aware of what truly motivates those around you? And when was the last time you practiced patience for strategic timing? If you've made it this far, congratulations, you're developing the mindset that balances power with subtlety and grace. Have you ever seen someone effortlessly take control in a heated situation and wondered, how do they do that? Or felt the power of pure presence, where a person commands attention without saying a word? Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Humans are drawn to drama and grand displays. Leaders who stage unforgettable events capture hearts and minds. Think of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, a powerful spectacle that inspired millions. Creating memorable moments amplifies your power. Law 38. Think as you like but behave like others. It's important to keep your true thoughts private and adapt outward behavior to fit social norms. This prevents unnecessary conflicts and allows you to blend in, gathering information and influence without raising suspicion. Like a spy, you observe quietly while others reveal their intentions. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. Chaos can be a tool. When people are confused or agitated, they become easier to influence or manipulate. Skilled negotiators sometimes deliberately unsettle opponents to gain advantage. However, this requires caution not to lose control yourself. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. Always pay your own way and avoid becoming indebted. Dependence weakens power. When you give freely, you gain control. When you take too much, you owe others. Warren Buffett famously advises valuing independence as key to success. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Following a legendary figure is daunting. Comparisons can undermine you. Instead, carve your own path to build unique power. Steve Jobs had to step out of the shadow of Apple's founders to become iconic himself. Ask yourself, how often do you create memorable experiences that draw people to you? Do you mask your true thoughts in social situations? And are you mindful of the power balance in your relationships? If you're still with me, you're learning not just to survive but to thrive, mastering the delicate dance of power. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to always come out ahead, no matter the situation? How they build lasting influence and avoid common pitfalls that trip others up? Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. If you want to dismantle opposition, focus on the leader first. Removing or neutralizing the main influencer causes the rest to lose direction. This tactic has been used throughout history, from Julius Caesar eliminating key rivals to modern business takeovers. It's a reminder to always identify the true source of power in any group. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Winning isn't just about force, it's about emotional connection. Leaders like Nelson Mandela understood that true power lies in winning people's loyalty and respect. By appealing to emotions and shared values, you build bonds that withstand challenges. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Reflecting someone's behavior back at them can confuse and unsettle them. If an opponent is aggressive, mirror their intensity. If they're calm, match their composure. This subtle psychological move can throw people off balance and give you the upper hand. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Change is necessary, but too much, too fast breeds resistance. Successful leaders introduce reforms gradually to avoid alienating supporters. Think about how major corporations evolved their policies slowly to maintain stability while adapting. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Perfection can breed envy and resentment. Showing a few flaws or vulnerabilities makes you relatable and less of a threat. Even great leaders, like Abraham Lincoln, displayed humility to connect with people and avoid backlash. Ask yourself, are you focusing on the real leaders in your environment? How well do you connect emotionally with those around you? And when was the last time you balanced change with patience? If you've made it this far, you're not just learning laws, you're cultivating wisdom that sets powerful people apart. Have you ever felt the subtle art of timing and presence could be the missing piece in your journey to influence? The final 2 laws of the 48 laws of power reveal how to seal your power with grace and strategic mastery. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Victory can be intoxicating, but pushing beyond your goal risks losing everything you gained. Wise leaders know when to pull back and consolidate their wins. History shows us countless examples like King Louis XIV, whose overreach eventually weakened his reign. The lesson? Celebrate your success, but don't let ambition blind you to limits. Law 48. Assume formlessness. The most adaptable are the most powerful. Like water, which takes the shape of any container, power flows to those who stay flexible and unpredictable. This law reminds us that rigid plans can be broken, but those who remain fluid can adjust and survive any storm. Think of successful entrepreneurs who pivot quickly when markets change. They thrive because they don't cling to a single form. So, here's a question for you. How flexible are you when faced with change? Are you ready to recognize when to stop pushing and when to flow with life's currents? If you've stayed with me through all 48 laws, congratulations. You're equipped with one of the most profound guides to power ever written. Remember, power is not about domination, but about understanding, strategy, and self-mastery. Before you go, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the link in the description to get your own copy of the 48 Laws of Power. It's a book you'll want to revisit time and again. Thank you for watching. Keep growing, keep mastering, and keep your power wisely.